So now let's use the quotient of powers property, and I'm going to write a little bit of stuff to the left that I'd like you to write. Let's start with 8 to the fourth over 8 to the third. Now, a couple things here. We're going to write this off just to the left side. The reason we're doing this is that you can see this a little bit better on the first two examples. The property itself might make more sense to you after we do this. So here's what we're going to write. Instead of 8 to the fourth, we're going to write 8 times 8 times 8 times 8. And that's on top. And then on the bottom, we're going to write 8 to the third, which is 8 times 8 times 8. And if you remember back from simplifying fractions before you really started algebra, to simplify fractions, one of the things you can do is look for factors that are in common. For instance here, this 8 and this 8 both divide by 8. So if you divide each of these by 8, you have 1. And if you divide this 8 and this 8 by 8, you've got another 1. And finally, you've got this one and this one. And each of those, when you divide them by 8, is 1. There's that 1 8 left over right there. So if we were to times these, it's 1 times 1 times 1 times 8, which is 8. And then 1 times 1 times 1 is 8, or I'm sorry, 1. And the answer to this one is 8, or 8 to the first power, okay? I'll take away that little 1 there. Now the property says like this. We're supposed to be doing 8 to the fourth over 8 to the third. Same base means 8 to the 4 minus 3. And that's 8 to the first, which is 8. Now what we did here is we subtracted exponents. Now, a lot of people, once they get the hang of this, find that this way right here is a lot easier, right there. Okay, we're going to show the same thing with the x's, and the reason we're doing this one is because on letter B is because we've got more x's on the bottom. Okay, so let's draw another fraction bar. We're going to kind of make this one long here. Here's what we've got. On the top, we've got x times x times x times x, and that's really what x to the fourth means. Now on the bottom, it's x to the seventh, so we're going to write x times x times x. We're going to do it 7 times. So make sure you've got 7 of them here so you can see it a little bit better. And get a different color here. Here's what we'll do. We're going to go cross this one off. I might have to scribble it. Because if you take x and divide them by each other, they're really 1. It's the same number divided by itself as 1. So dividing by x here, dividing by x here, you're left with 1. X divided by x is 1. So let's pick a couple other ones out. There's a set right there. And there's a set right here. And one final set we can do. Another x over x is 1. Okay, look what we have left. You have 1 on the top because 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. And on the bottom, it's 1 times 1 times 1 times 1, which is 1. And then there's x times x times x. Now that's written as x to the third power. Now we're going to get the same thing over here. If we do this, we're going to be doing x to the fourth over x to the seventh, which is x to the 4 minus 7. 4 minus 7 is negative 3. So again, what we did over here is we subtracted exponents. But you can't leave it as x to the negative third. So we do have to make a quick change here. Think about x to the negative third. We know this from a previous lesson that we use the reciprocal of that, which is 1 over x to the positive 3. Now that's the same thing right here. That's the same thing that we got over here. Same exact thing. Think about which way might be easier for you as you go into the lesson.